Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're continuing our run of John Byrne's Wonder Woman. I have a playlist started with 101 and we're going to go all the way through to 136, which will be John Byrne's last issue. This is from 1997. The cover is not by John Byrne. It is once again by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Now, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez was DC's guy for commissioned, maybe not commissioned, for all the art that you would see on all their licensing. So the T-shirts and hats and this and that, it would be this dude here. So we've got Cheetah here looking at Wonder Woman. Um, Good stuff. Good stuff. We start off in Gateway City. Now, this is computer generated. It is John Byrne actually doing the computer generated artwork. John Byrne embraced computers back in the 80s and even would draw on them. He would use an Apple computer, I believe, to draw. So he has embraced computers before it was cool. And this is Byrne doing the buildings here. So this is the zoo. As I mentioned, I have a playlist. And so we're picking up where we left last last issue here. And here we have Mike. I say score, SCHORR, because SCH like school. So that's how I say it. And so he's waking up. He had passed out and he realizes he's upside down. And the first thing he does is he calls for Wonder Woman. So in the forest of the night. And here we have Cheetah, double page spread. And we have Cheetah, and she is about to attack Wonder Woman. And Mike yells at her to look out. John Byrne does the writing, the penciling, the inking, and the lettering. It is actually digital lettering that he does based on his own handwriting. So isn't this something? So this version of John Byrne, that version of the 90s, is my favorite version of John Byrne, particularly the mid 90s. His inking is absolutely fabulous. He's such a master storyteller. So, great double page spread here. Wonder Woman, of course, on instinct, look at this clock here and just punches her. She's even got her eyes closed. So look at that, and off she goes here. And of course, Mike, look at him and going, "What happened to your hand?" Which, of course, we don't know yet. It ended in the issue, and it broke. It's almost, remember, Wonder Woman was made from clay, so it's almost as if she's reverting to that. And I just want to make a note on the inking on the hair. Look at that. Just masterfully. Very skilled at it. So she says, "I don't know. I struck at Cheetah, but she eluded my blow, and when my hand impacted on the cement wall, it shattered as if it was made of brittle clay." And so she goes, "But what of you, Michael? We all feared you slain." "No, she just grabbed me right after you left. When was it? I've lost track of time down here." So And so Wonder Woman says that the two of them had departed in the early hours, and not long after her sister came to tell her that she was missing. So we've got a little bit of intro, or a little bit of filling in the gaps similar to the Marvel era of Jim Shooter, where this could be everybody's first issue. So John Byrne was from that era, so he is doing exactly that. Also, one of the things I like, and I guess I've never, but just putting in the 2 stars. You don't have to draw 50 billion of them. Just look at that, the 2 stars. I probably would have added a third star right here, but that's how I would have left it here. And so, anyway, she continues on saying that they're at the old Gateway Zoo. I love how he does the her lasso, which is just a line and then those little squiggles right here. Of course, we got Cheetah sort of getting up. Mike says at least her powers don't seem affected by the injury, meaning she still has her super strength here. And so here comes the Cheetah. She, of course, tells Mike to stand back. Wonder Woman says she's more savage, more powerful than the last time we met. So, but I must find a way to subdue her. And we are at the LexCorp building. Again, this is computer generated for this era. And during this time, computers and comic books were sort of merging pretty much into what we have now. But in the mid 90s, computers really started to take center stage in the coloring and in so many things. You can see that this is all digitally colored. During this time, the newsprint was getting much better, but in certain cases, they were starting to go with a different stock of paper, very similar to what we have now, and that happened during this time. Anyway, here we've got this gentleman here with the glasses. So this is Mr. DePaul, and he's saying, you know, people all over Gateway City are getting mutilated as if attacked by a wild beast. And he tells this gentleman here, Chuma, he says that this wasn't part of the arrangement that they negotiated. So Mr. DePaul is kind of like the head of LexCorp of that in that city. And so Chuma says that Barbara Minerva has become an uncontrollable wild thing because she sold her soul to buy back his life. So Mr. DePaul here says that is preposterous. And essentially, people don't come back from the dead. Of course, this is a comic book world. He should know better. Which, of course, that is what Chuma says here. People that can fly from other planets, Superman, etc. So, this isn't the normal world, of course. And so, of course, Lex Luthor was dead once, which DePaul goes, what? And so he, of course, tells him that Luthor was sick and dying, and Neron approached him and offered and restored his youth and health in exchange for his soul. So, because Luthor's an atheist, he doesn't believe he has a soul. So he's like, sure, why not? So, and then Barbara Minerva, the Cheetah, also did that. So Barbara believed that he was the only one who could bridle the raging beast that was the Cheetah. So, and so she was sort of doing okay, but she seemed attracted to the ugliness of humans, and that is when she attacked. So look at this amazing illustration. Oh, John Byrne is so masterful. Look at that. Oh, goodness gracious. So each night she lost more and more of her humanity, and because she had no soul, her animal instincts began to overwhelm her. Look at that. Oh, that is just beautiful here. So he managed to influence her so that each morning throughout the day she could at least be caged, but it became obvious that he was not going to be able to return her humanity to her. So he set on another way and decided that he would try to contact Wonder Woman, who was now in Keystone City. And then, of course, he ended up going to LexCorp because, hey, he made him sound like he would be able to market turn that into a marketable product. And he says, hey, I didn't mean to, for the deception. And they do have resources. And he says, wait a moment, there's something I must attend to at once. And so then we now move into kind of the next scene here. Then she's dead, it says here. And of course, we are picking up again where we left off here. This is Hippolyta, Wonder Woman's mother. And she has turned to stone. They say no. And also, it's hard to believe that they just didn't know that she was Wonder Woman's mother. So, Hippolyta to Polly. So she's a psychic here, and the doctor says, "Are you able to maybe contact Wonder Woman?" And she reminds him that she's not able to control them like that. Her mom says, you should give it a chance. So she'll give it a try, and she asks the doctor if there's somewhere quiet that she can go to, dark and silent. And they said, we can use my office, and I'll close the blinds here. And of course, we now get going into the next panel. It says, Barbara Minerva. This storytelling of John Byrne during this time, it was so creative, so different. I really enjoy his run on Wonder Woman. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. And so, he's here now. Barbara Minerva, stop this at once, he says, as she fights Wonder Woman here. Wonder Woman wants to try and stop her without killing her, so she's going to perform a chokehold because even though her powers are supernatural, she's still mortal, and mortals need air. So a chokehold kind of puts her down here. The thing with chokeholds is you have to be able to know when to release. If you keep holding them, you're going to kill that person. So, and he says, you've done well, Wonder Woman. I knew you'd be the one to help us. Of course, Mike is a little angry here. And he says, you got an awful way of asking, buddy. And then Wonder Woman says, there's more here than meets the eye. For one thing, this man is dead. So, look at this. Look at this. Here. Oh. And so, Mike says, are you sure you want to do this, Diana? Shouldn't you be getting you to a hospital? Your hand. But she, of course, tells him, it is beyond medical science. This part has to be done first, and hopefully after that the gods will show favor upon her. So, and Chump says here, I can't promise that. There's no guarantee that what's afflicting Minerva here is afflicting her. So basically what's happening to Wonder Woman may have nothing to do with Cheetah here. So, all right. It's kind of funny that John Byrne and Chris Claremont broke up because John Byrne was like, so wordy and this and that, and then John Byrne pretty much does exactly what Chris Claremont does. He says Chris Claremont doesn't put enough action, but and too much talking and too much. But this is exactly, my goodness, kettle meat pot. Those two are the same. So, um, man, I wonder what would have happened if John Byrne and Chris Claremont would have been able to work out their differences. So he says here the magics are ready. And Wonder Woman tells Mike he doesn't have to do this and he has time to step out of the circle. Of course, Mike's not going to do that. And Mike says, according to this guy, he seems convinced this cheetah dame grabbed me for some specific reason beyond my friendship with you. And, gosh, what is his name? He's saying Chum, but I think it's Chuma. All right. And Chuma says, not convinced, Officer Score, but if there is any chance at all that you are somehow part of this, I cannot take the risk of leaving you out of the spell. Now get ready when the change comes upon you. So you can see here, he's got, is it his own blood? So there will be no preparatory warning. And so Mike's like, so they're transported somewhere else here, some type of jungle, but it's not green here, it's grayish here. And so Wonder Woman says, it is as Chuma described it, this wilderness that dwells where Barbara's soul once was. So Mike's amazed at how real the place looks like. Wonder Woman says her hand has been restored and shows Mike. Mike says he hears something, and of course she says it's a low growl from somewhere beneath the bushes. Says, get ready, and here comes the cheetah, who attacks. Mike takes out his gun and starts to shoot. He says, get down, Diana, always a protector. And she's kind of dissolving here. And so she asks about the weapon. She says he has no idea, that when she attacked, he went instinctively because, hey, shoot first. And so now we've got a second assault happening here. And Mike is going to shoot it, but says the gun has no effect. It's like shooting at a tossed salad. And so Wonder Woman says that the jungle is learning. So and Wonder Woman says, there's nothing to fear, Mike. It's not the real cheetah. So, and look at this. Now we've got more cheetahs here. She hopes they'll be able to find the true Barbara. And of course, Mike's like, Diana. And so Wonder Woman says, fight back. And of course, now they're being surrounded. And this one here just gashes his back, and he's like, that hurt. Wonder Woman says, the wound is bad, potentially mortal, but your blood. And Mike says, we got trouble, Diana, save yourself, don't worry about me. And Wonder Woman is like, a brave sentiment, Mike, but one I cannot comply with. So we've got more of them. So and so off she goes to fly. Nice vertical panel here. And she says, let's see if these cheetahs have the same limitations as the real one. Wonder Woman says she still has all her powers. And Mike asks if she'd be able to fight all of those at the same time here. And Wonder Woman reminds him that she was able to beat Morgan Le Fay in a fantasy environment such as this. This was an issue 108, which of course I have covered. Do check out that playlist if you would like. And so Wonder Woman's going to try the same tactic as at that time, which was kind of do nothing. And Mike is going to question that, says they're going to cut you to ribbons. Wonder Woman basically says maybe yes, maybe no. But how much of the humanity lies in the soul and how much in the intellect? Mike says don't do it, but of course this is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman says, her sacrifice of her soul was basically brave, but it's time to stop the payment and reclaim herself. And here comes that Cheetah. And of course, she gashes at Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman lets her. You can just see the ugh. So that obviously hurt here. So you can see her just slashing at Wonder Woman here. Wonder Woman keeps telling her, use your intelligence. Mike's not sure if this plan is going to even work here. Of course, he loves her dearly. So Wonder Woman says she's a warrior, but tries to use the warrior portions last. Um, and look at her. It hurts so much. She's crying here. There's no human conflict which cannot be served better with words than with the sword. Ah, if only that were true, my dear Wonder Woman. Of course, Wonder Woman keeps telling Cheetah about how great her intelligence is, and you can see here these other Cheetah forms are kind of going into the main Cheetah here. And so Wonder Woman's going to try to make one last ditch effort here. Mike notices how he keeps calling her Minerva instead of Cheetah to basically, oh my goodness, reinforce that she is a person, not a beast. And so Wonder Woman says, well, Barbara, what's it gonna be? Your whole life was dedicated to logic and reason. Even the deal you made with Neron was done as a result of thought and reasoning. You sacrifice your soul, but your mind and soul are not the same thing. So, think, Barbara. Remember who you are. Remember what your life has been about. And suddenly you can see Cheetah now becoming less bestial. And Wonder Woman still goes, remember, remember. So, and of course, here we go. And Barbara Minerva says, Diana, thank you. And it worked. So, Mike asked if Cheetah is cured, and Wonder Woman says, not cured. And then Chuma says, but now she has a chance. Wonder Woman has proven that even with the loss of a soul, you cannot vanquish the power of the human mind. So we get to the last page here. And John Byrne, of course, lets us know an epilogue then, and in its own way, a prologue. And so it's 6 hours later here. She tells Helena and Cassandra her story here. Of course, they're looking at her hand, which is still damaged here. And Wonder Woman thinks there might be a clue on something that they may have missed. And Mike says, a clue? And so she says, you recall that I injured my hand in that battle, meaning the battle with Doomsday that they were referring to up there. And the injury took much longer to heal than they was expected here. And Helena says, this is no time to bring. Sorry, I skipped over what she says. Is there anything you can do? Sorry about that. And Wonder Woman says, I'm not sure. She feels it's growing in there, and you can see Byrne kind of is going from there to here. And so, of course, she knows she was made out of clay. So, and it looks like Mike did not know that here. And Mike's like, you're some sort of golem? And then here we get Jason Blood. He says, no, she is not. And so Jason Blood, who is the demon, has come. He says, I came as soon as I received your message, Diana. Whatever is happening to you, we must act quickly to discover the cause. And you were right to think Jason Blood is just the man to help you do that. So, next year's, it's 10 years since comic readers everywhere were introduced to a new and daringly different Wonder Woman. Join us in 30 days for an anniversary celebration and the beginning of Diana's quest for the answers that lie buried in her past. Wonder Woman 119 by John Byrne. Like and subscribe, and thanks for listening.